Hi, my name is Jacqui-Lee Pryce and welcome to Shadowboxruk. Today's guest comes all the way from Germany. She's the former WIBF and the current EBU Featherweight Champion. She's ranked number 3 by the WBC and number 2 in the world by the IBF and the WBA. It's Nina the Brave Meinke.
Brilliant!
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Struggling today. Yeah, don't know why, but I suppose it's this whole lockdown thing. What about you?
Yeah, same here, to be honest. Motivated myself to go running, but apart from that, it's grey outside. You can't do anything. You're in lockdown, so yeah, pretty depressing sometimes, but you have to make the best out of it.
It's true, but I feel like this lockdown, I don't know if you're on number 3 like us, but number 3, it feels very different. It feels quite, I don't know, I'm not hearing sounds outside. It's sounding quite depressive, if that makes sense.
Well, we're in the second lockdown and I don't know, people are starting to get nervous, they want to know what's happening. Well, let's see how long they can hold on that.
Well, enough about that depressing thing that's going on around the world. So talk to me though, how you have been keeping yourself positive, motivated, fit, looking lovely.
Well, yes, last year I've had 2 fights last year, one in July and one in December. Well, I'm very thankful for that actually happened because I started training in January last year, and then it just, kept on going, and you started thinking, when can I finally step into the ring again? But so the hope for the fight, hoping for the fight, that kind of got me motivated. And because, in December, I was fighting in December, that was the last highlight of the year. So, yeah, luckily, I could train in a private gym, which made it possible, to do sparring and not having to train on the streets, which was pretty cool. And yeah, so December was the fight night, and I went on holiday after, which was quite good. And yeah, I was happy.
Yeah, I saw that you had quite a busy 2020. I mean, that's I'm guessing kept you sane.
Yeah, it did. I think when you're just sat at home and doing nothing, it kind of gets you depressed. So you have to make the best out of it. You have to kind of find new projects that you can do, and be creative. And so it worked out for me.
Yeah, I actually saw the fight, 8-rounder, wasn't it, against Angela Cannizaro. I think that was quite a good pronunciation.
That was brilliant. You're getting better and better.
I know. Thank you. But yeah, like I say, great to get out there. 8-rounder, and I think who was it that you fought earlier on in the year?
Edina Kiss.
And what's that in Germany?
I mean, we were lucky to get fights opponent from abroad. And that really, we were really lucky, because in my first fight in July, we wanted to get an opponent from, I think, was it Serbia?
Yeah.
And I think 1 week before the fight, they closed the borders and everything, so we had to get the last from Hungary. Luckily, it worked out, but it's so unpredictable.
I'm guessing that you had to kind of change things up tactically, because you would have been working on things for one opponent and then all of a sudden you've got another opponent. Do you find that quite easy to be able to do that because of your, extensive experience in boxing?
Yeah, it was, we worked a new plan out pretty quick, but the problem that we had before the fight was that we couldn't spar, or we couldn't do any partner work, which I noticed in my fight, because sometimes, I was struggling to find the right distance, and this was actually the hardest part of the fight preparation.
So when you're saying that you were finding it quite difficult to find your range, was that against Angela? Because I think that was the one that I thought you were slightly at. No, yes, it was Angela. Is Angela the one with the plaits?
Yes.
Yes, and she's a southpaw as well, isn't she?
She was the southpaw as well. Yes.
Yeah, I did notice you were finding it quite difficult to find the range, but I did wonder, and I don't mean this as any disrespect to her, but you fought the likes of Katie Taylor. Is it difficult to kind of, I don't know, get up for? I don't know if that's a very polite way of saying it for a fighter like Angela.
Not to be honest, because you have to respect every opponent. You should never underestimate anyone. That's why I never go in the ring and say, well, this is going to be an easy one, because you just never know. I've had some opponents which surprised me, and I don't want to be surprised, so I'd rather play the safe side, and you never know what's happening. So yeah. Even with Angela, I mean, I was as nervous as I was before Katie Taylor's fight. It's like, it's just, you have to be concentrated all the time.
I wanted to ask you about fighting Katie Taylor because, listen, you were on the pro scene, I think, before she was, and then, you've had a few bouts, and then she comes along. Granted, okay, she's had a massive, massive amateur background, but all the focus was on her. How do you, as a fighter, deal with that and stay in the zone?
Sometimes I think it's the better way not to be in the focus, because you have less pressure. So for me, it was I took it as a massive opportunity, and it was a great opportunity. And the experience it gave me, it was brilliant. And even though people said, right, Nina, this is going to be too early for you, you haven't got enough experience, well, so what? When will I ever get this chance again? You can't say there's a right time or wrong time for for a chance. So I took it, and for me, I just really enjoyed every second of it. All the surroundings, being in the hotel, seeing all the legends, boxing legends, and I was just like, wow, and I can be part of it. And it was so much more than just the boxing, and it wasn't. The fight with Katie Taylor, it wasn't about winning or losing. It was just enjoying. And so for me, it was one of the greatest experience ever in boxing.
And it was a massive undercard, wasn't it? On the Joshua Povetkin. Was it Joshua Povetkin?
That was Klitschko.
Sorry, yes.
It was like, yeah.
Yes, of course. I mean, come on, who's going to turn that down?
I know. I just couldn't. I was like, well, of course I was really nervous. And I mean, I knew Katie from the amateurs, and I followed her. And, I know she's a strong lass. I know she's explosive, but it helped me a lot also for my confidence, because now I can say, I mean, I stood in the ring with Katie Taylor, it can't get worse, or it's going to be hard. But
I'm not being funny. Like, anyone would give their left arm and right arm to get in there. They really would. Yeah, on the amateur scene, you had a massive career. I'd like you to just let the English fans into a little bit of your background.
Yes, well, when I was 16, I actually moved to England, and I lived in Scarborough. My ex-boyfriend, he was English, and I don't know, he kind of messed my head up, and I've just decided to move to England. So I did my A-levels over there.
Sorry, I'm laughing because she said Scarborough. I was just like, what? I know obviously where it is, but I'm like, you moved from Germany to Scarborough. Why? Why?
That was the Scarborough Fair. Actually, it was such a coincidence. When I was 13, I did an exchange, like student exchange, with my school, and I came into this host family where the dad was a boxer as well. So he took me to the boxing club, and which was funny. And I was sparring with this one guy, and well, how it was, we kind of fell in love, and from then. We kept in touch, and then when I was 16, I decided to move to Scarborough, and I boxed there for the Westway ABC, which was pretty cool. One of the best times, one of the best boxing times I've ever had. It was really good.
You can see it in your face how much you really enjoyed your time there. Talk to me about the medals that you won. How far did you get in amateur boxing?
Well, when I was in England, I fought the English Championships, and I lost by 1 point in the finals against Charlene Davidson, I think it was.
Yeah, Charlie Davidson's now on Team GB.
Yes.
Yep.
So, well, great. Pretty well. She's done well then. Nice, cool. Yeah, and then but the problem was because I was German, it was hard. I was invited for the squad training, but because I was German and didn't have the English passport, it was hard for me to fight or to get more into it. And that's why I decided to move back to Germany and started fighting for the German national team. We flew to South Korea 2015. Actually, which was an absolutely great experience. I won against this Brazilian lass, and I'm really sorry, I forgot her name. I think it must be the boxing. I blame it on the boxing, but I won against her, but unfortunately lost against the Russian lass in the second fight. So, but great experience. I became vice German champion a few times. It was sometimes people say, in the finals that I got robbed, but it was a story for itself. For me, I have to say I had a great amateur experience, even though I didn't get all the titles or stuff internationally, but I don't know. I met a lot of people, and when I broke my hand 2015, I had to stop, and this kind of made me, I decided to become pro after that because I just couldn't stop boxing. I actually returned to England, moved to Tamworth to work over there again, buying catalytic converters, but then I noticed I want to box.
Tamworth has got a really great amateur boxing gym there. I mean, there's many, obviously, in England, but they also do a lot of the coach training down there and stuff. I did I think, level 3 down there many years ago, my coaching certificate.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's a great gym.
Was it not Ellen Keys? No.
Yes.
Is it Ellen Keys?
Yep.
Yes. Oh, one name I remember. I actually met him as well. That's where I trained. I think it is the club that you...
Please don't put me on the spot on what it's called, though. Tamworth ABC... Is it Tamworth ABC? It's a great gym.
I know, yeah, that's great.
Let's carry on. Talking about your amateur career, I just loved... I've watched a few of your fights back. Aggressive, come-forward fighter. You're not afraid of a tear-up, are you?
No, not really. You shouldn't be.
When you tell people that you're a boxer, I mean, you're a very attractive young woman. You don't, I suppose, look like a typical boxer, whatever that means. Are people quite surprised outside of your circle when you say that you're a boxer?
Yeah, most of them are. Especially guys, when you tell me you're a boxer, they're like, "Oh, you think you can beat me?" It's like the typical question every time. Like, well, what am I supposed to say? But yeah, people don't really expect it from you.
You should just say yes. I could.
Want to try out?
I don't know if it's a chat-up line. Do you think it's a chat-up line?
I'm not sure.
Because how are you? I'm not being funny. How are you supposed to respond to that? Yeah, I'll smash you. It's like, I don't know.
Smash you in your face. Nice to meet you.
Do you think it's kind of gone against you as well? Because I'm guessing that some people that maybe don't know you underestimate you. They look at you and they go, oh my God, I bet she can't do anything. And then you beat the shit out of them.
Well, luckily, I didn't have to beat shit out of anyone yet, like on the street. I'm trying to avoid that, obviously, because I think it's better if I've got the surprising effect. I mean, that's even better, isn't it?
I like to say you're really humble, and it's really nice and it's really refreshing to meet somebody that has reached the heights that you have, and you're really grounded. I mean, because you're a massive star in Germany, aren't you? And I see that you're sponsored by Puma. I shouldn't really say that because they're not paying me, but I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I love it. I'm very happy about that. Only problem is that I'm struggling with my wardrobe now. You should never ever give clothes to girls.
Yeah, it's true. But how has that helped you? Because I know that there were quite a few, not just boxers, but female boxers, for the lack of a better description. There are a lot of female boxers that just do not have any sponsorship. You know, how has it changed your life?
I have to say, it's still hard to get sponsors. And I think I'm not the only one who's struggling. I think most of the girls are, even like in women's boxing, I think it's hard in general to really earn money because so that's why, yes, the more sponsors you have, the more likely it is that other sponsors think, oh, she's got a few, yeah, we might have stepped on the train, you know. But it's hard because everyone says, oh, when you're world champion, I'm going to sponsor you. Well, but that's when I've already reached where I want to be. And we need to help everyone. Like, we need the help from the beginning and like kind of walk the way together. But I think that's what some people don't understand, you know. Once you're up there, everyone wants something from you. But until there, the way is it's really, really hard. And I mean, I'm very happy about having my sponsor like SGB, like security, and I've got a hairdresser as a sponsor, you know, DMAT style, and I'm very happy about that. But still, I think it's still very, very hard for us girls in the women boxing to earn the money and to get sponsors.
Do you know what I find quite astonishing by that? And it's going to sound really fickle, but listen, we know how the world works. I'm actually really astonished that somebody that looks like you, that has the talent that you have, are still finding it difficult to get sponsors. And I say that because, listen, we know how the world works. Does it then make you, I don't know, a bit angry when you see that you've kind of come from the amateur scene, you've put the hours in, you've put the time in, and then other people come in and they're kind of on this big platform?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've stopped. I mean, you have to look you have to have your own goals and everything. And I think sometimes it's not too good to look to the right and left too much. And it's kind of a waste of time when you kind of, I don't know how to say it, but when you spend your time thinking about what others got, you know, it's just, it makes yourself crazy because it doesn't change anything of your own situation. So, yeah, maybe sometimes you think, I don't know, maybe she can't box as good as some others can. But yeah, in the end, you know, that makes me want to work harder so I can reach that as well. I think we shouldn't waste the time just, you know, trying to envy people of what they have. You know, yeah, we have to work for it ourselves then.
My thinking isn't so much about, I suppose, whether the person is a great boxer or not a good boxer. It's more about just, I suppose,
getting the contracts with the firms and stuff. Yeah, of course. Sometimes you're like, hey, please, I'm here. You know, but I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard business, definitely.
I applaud your honesty, though, because I think it's, again, important for people who are looking on the outside and they think, oh, you may have it all. And actually you're saying, I am grateful, but it's not all roses.
That's it. Definitely.
It's quite a difficult question to ask because you don't maybe know what's going to go on. But let's say for the next 6 months, you know, where do you think you will take your career?
I'm starting training again now. Well, I started training now because, well, I'm not sure what's happening, but I want to be prepared. So I'm looking for maybe March. You know, the lockdown's going to be until the end of January, maybe February, but we don't know what's happening after. Maybe it's going to be this kind of like ghost boxing show again. I'm preparing for March and any time after that. So hopefully it will be a title defense or even fighting for a new title. Can't say anything yet. I'm just trying to be optimistic.
If you're having a title defence in your next fight, who are, you know, the people that your management team are looking at?
I think for the EBU, there's, I reckon there will be someone who is already set for me to fight. I'm going to find out and see who that is. Yes, but we haven't got any certain names yet.
Okay. I thought I was going to get an exclusive. You've actually kept a little bit of your Scarborough accent.
I know. It's a shame that I don't speak English as much anymore because now you forget words and you like but yeah, kind of try to keep the English accent.
You pick up people's accents, don't you?
Oh God, which sometimes are funny stories. But when you talk to people and they're kind of from America, and it's like talking like that. He's like, what? I need to speak more often. Unfortunately, don't get the chance to.
I'm sure you will.
I really like that you're supporting us and you're supporting the boxers and giving them the chance to have a platform, because that's one of the things as well. It's hard to get sponsors, but also people talking about you. I mean, the news, the media, it's hard.
But actually, that's what it's about. That's exactly what it's about. If you could speak to your fans or the wider boxing community, what would you say to them? And what tips can you share with them for staying positive during lockdown?
I started, well, it sounds stupid maybe, but actually I started reading books because I couldn't be asked listening to all the negative news anymore and seeing Corona here, Corona there. So I started, I did my training and I started reading books. Just, you kind of have to stop thinking sometimes, especially in those kind of times. And yes, I mean, keep it up with the training, keep up the hard work, better times will come. So we have to make the best out of it and keep on focusing.
One of the positive things to come out of lockdown is we get a chance to meet some amazing people online. So I just wanted to say thank you very much for giving us your time.
Thank you.
If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber of Shadowboxer UK, we'd love to see you, so please go ahead and subscribe now.